What's up guys, in this video we're going to be doing a demonstration on frame control. So this is something that a lot of you guys have asked me about in the comments. We're going to be using Natty as a prop and show you guys various situations that might come up when you're on a date or talking to a girl and how to handle them and how to get the girl to come around to your frame of view. Alright, so frame control is something that a lot of guys are confused about, so we're going to start off with some definitions. First, what is a frame? Basically, it's the same thing as a viewpoint, as your perspective, is your set of beliefs about something. Frame control is the art of getting someone else who thinks differently than you to come around to your point of view. It's as simple as that. So then it begs the question of how do you go about it? So I kind of wrote out 5 simple steps that I personally use when I'm trying to use frame control. Step number 1 is to shut the fuck up and listen, because if you're talking over the point, if you're arguing, that's not frame control, just creating a combative environment. You're hitting two heads. So the first step is to listen. And the reason that you want to listen is because it's necessary for the second step, which is to understand that person's frame, understand that person's perspective. It's necessary because you can't get someone to come around to your point of view if you don't understand where they're starting. Number 3 is going to be to keep your cool. So this is something that Fresh and Fit excels at. They're very good at keeping their cool when ideas are being challenged. So you want to do something like that. You want to stay very grounded. If you get reactive, if you start, getting emotional, you start getting defensive, you've already lost the frame control battle. So you want to stay very cool, very collected, very grounded. The 4th step is to get them to question their initial assumption, get them to question their frame. So for example, I've talked about this in other videos. If a girl says to me something like, you just want to use me for casual sex, or you just want a one-night stand, I might accomplish the 4th step by saying, when exactly did I say that? And then the girl has to go back and think about it. And if I never exactly said that, hey, I just want to hook up, now she's going to be questioning her initial assumption, right? So you're basically wearing down at her frame. And then the 5th step is to offer a different perspective that's going to make more sense to her, something that she can easily grab onto, or he could be frame controlling anyone. And that perspective, should be one that's very easy to listen to understand, to comprehend, and to adopt, right? So your ability to frame control people is going to be determined by how good you are at communicating, how persuasive you are, and how good you are at remaining calm under pressure. Now, this ability should not be used for evil. You should not frame control people into doing manipulative things, but it can be used to help you accomplish your goals in life and help you get people to come around to your perspective. All right, so next we're going to do a little demonstration of some of these frame control concepts in a situation that you could find yourself very well in with a cute girl, either in person or over text. So let's start off.
You're just looking for something casual and I'm not.
Okay, so a girl might say that to you over text, or she might say that in person. Let's pretend it's in person. So if she says that, I would say, first I would say, oh, interesting. Why do you think that?
You just give me the vibe that you're just looking for something casual, and I'm really looking for something on the serious side.
So when exactly did I say I was looking for something casual?
You have not set up, no, but you just give me the vibe.
So you just assumed.
Yeah.
You know what they say about assumptions?
What?
They're not good. So you might throw in some humor in there, right? So at this point, she is questioning her assumption. So then I would offer a different perspective. I would say, yeah, it's not good to assume about other people because you might be wrong sometimes. But no, I'm not just looking for something casual. I'm actually pretty open. I like to go into these things with an open mind and see what happens. I've been in serious relationships before, but I feel like it's always better when things develop naturally rather than forcing things.
But then what is it that you're looking for? Because it seems to me that a lot of guys say that.
Do they?
Yeah. Most of the guys I've been with say, yeah, I'm just open to see what's there.
What it means is that they're open. So I don't know if these guys are using it, if they actually mean it or not, but what it means for me is that I like to let things develop naturally. So I'm open, we're just getting to know each other. We have no idea where this is going to go. I'm open to something more, if we actually become close. But I'm very selective about who I date, who I let into my life. So, we'd have to really vibe and click. And I'm sure you're the same way.
Yeah, that's true. I'm very selective of who I let into my life.
Yeah, so I don't think it's good to just have an assumption like, oh, like we're gonna be dating because that person might not meet up to your standards. And for me, my standards are pretty high. So that's why I go into these things with an open mind. You hope for the best, but expectations are the beginning of disappointment.
You have a point.
Cool, let's smash. So then you would offer her a different perspective, and it's a perspective that pretty much no one can disagree with. It's something that's super, like something like, yeah, that makes sense, right? So you have to phrase things the right way, and then bam. All right, moving on to the next one.
What if you have STDs? I know you've been with a lot of girls.
Okay, so that's one you might commonly get if you're like a little bit of a player. So I would probably first say something like, why do you feel that way?
Well, you've slept with a lot of girls. I don't know how careful are you of your sexual life. I don't know what you do, and I also don't know what these other girls are doing,
So-
and I'm scared of my health, and
As you should be.
putting my health at risk.
So you just assume because I'm sexually active that I don't care about my health?
Well, I assume that because you're sexually promiscuous, you have a higher
Are you slut shaming me right now?
Kind of. I mean, like, you have a higher chance of getting an STD and giving it to me, and like, you could put me in a horrible position.
You have heard of condoms, right? They've been around for a while.
Yeah, but like, you also have herpes, which it can be transmitted even with condoms.
You have heard about STD checkups, right? They're also pretty common.
Do you have one with you right now?
Yeah, of
Can I
course.
see it?
Yeah, I get STD. When was the last time you had an STD checkup?
Well, I get them all the time.
What is all the time?
Every 3 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you. Okay, I get mine once every 3 months as well. That's one thing we have in common. I'm very big on health, so yeah, I get mine all the time.
When was the last time you got an STD check?
6 weeks ago.
Can I see it?
You can. Doctor.
Okay.
Now, if a girl is that inquisitive at that point, then you probably do have to show her something. You could probably maybe get off showing her something. Now, again, I want to be very clear. You should not do this if you actually have an STD. You should actually get a checkup. This is only to be used if a girl assumes you have an STD, but you don't actually have an STD. It would be pretty fucked up to use frame control and to get a girl to bang you if you have STDs. So I just want to make that very clear. All right, let's move on to the next one.
I don't sleep with that guy on the first date.
Okay, so a chick might say that. It depends on when she says it. So if she says that as you're walking back to your place, I wouldn't even acknowledge it. I would probably say something like, oh yeah, neither do I, because it could just be a shit test. If she says it over text, I would probably say, it's cool, no expectations, or it's cool, I hate sex, so brush it off with humor. Now it's different if she says that when you're back at your place and you've been trying to make a move, and then she tells you. That means much more likely it's not a smoke screen. She's actually being serious. She's not just testing you, right? So it is important to understand the source. So in a situation like that, if all other avenues have failed, I might try to, see what that's coming from, and if I can get her to come around to my perspective. Now, of course, you never want to pressure a girl or anything like that. That's not what we're advocating. We're advocating, free exchange of ideas and maybe helping her get over some limiting beliefs that she has around sex. So I would start off by saying like, oh, okay, interesting. I don't actually sleep with guys on the first date either. Right? So you kind of break the ice with a little bit of humor. And then I might say something like, but what, I'm just curious, what makes you say that?
Well, like, I see sex as something meaningful between two people. The few times that I've done it, I felt used.
What made you feel used about it?
Well, the guy was very, like, he was kind of in a hurry to like have me go, and I felt dirty because it goes against my values and morals.
You didn't like being kicked out after sex.
Not only that, I also felt dirty. I felt that I was doing something with a guy with whom I don't have any meaningful connection. honestly rather meet a guy, date a guy, to see if he's someone, because I'm a big believer in sexual energy, and if it's someone I want to share that part of myself with.
Well, if your whole argument is sexual energy, I feel like we have that in spades. So this is only also going to work if the girl's actually sexually into you. If the girl's like not that attracted, there's no way this is going to work. So you might rely on that. Well, if your only argument is sexual energy, I feel like, I don't know how it could be any more. Your red top is going to explode if we have any more sexual energy.
I mean, the exchange of energy and the fact that I just don't know you.
Have you not been paying attention for the last 2 hours when we've been speaking?
You can know someone for 2 hours, to be honest.
You want 3 hours? I've always believed in quality over quantity. I don't know if you agree with that. I always believe it's not about the quantity of time you spend, it's the quality of time.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
So that's like a statement that no one can disagree with. So again, I'm trying to bring it back to something that I can get her to agree with. So I would say something like that, and then I would say, look, there's absolutely no pressure. If you don't want to sleep with me, that's fine. I'll just, maybe cry myself asleep for a few hours. But I did think we have a lot of sexual energy and sexual connection. I always found that sex is a good way of actually building connection. Because I find that after you sleep with someone, that's when your guard is down, that's when your body releases oxytocin. So that's when you're really the closest. That's when all the bullshit goes out the window. So I've usually become closest to people after sex, not before. That's what I've personally always found. I don't know if you, or maybe you're just immune to human nature.
No, but at the end of the day, I do like to meet the guy first a little bit before I sleep with them.
Have we not met?
We've met, but I like to get to know them better.
You're worried about being used, aren't you? That's what this is.
Yeah, that's true. I worry about that.
Do you want me to sign a contract that I won't kick you out 5 minutes after sex? I'll make you wait the full 10 minutes. Look, I respect, that's your opinion, that's fine. I've always felt a little differently. I never saw sex as a big deal. I just always thought it as like normal human nature. And I think it can be, quite a powerful form of connection. Just because you have sex with someone on the first date doesn't make it meaningless. It's what you assign value to, and it's the quality over quantity, as you said. I don't know. I've just always never really made a big deal out of sex. You didn't strike me as the kind of girl that did it either. So in this one, what I did was I just went on a long monologue and then I asked her a question after that. So now I asked it off with a question that she's going to agree to, but that she's also sort of accepting my frame. So it's a little bit of an underhanded tactic. Go ahead.
No, I'm...
Are you down to smash yet?
No, I'm not. I'm not the type of girl who makes a big deal out of it. You're right.
That's what I liked about you. You seem like kind of very sexually open.
Yes, I am,
but you're just worried. You're just a little worrier. You're worried that it's not going to be as good. Look at you, you're biting a lift. Clearly, you're not thinking about sex. So if you get a point like that where you don't need to wait for her to say like, "Oh yeah, you're right, you win." If she's already doubting her frame at that point, then you can just probably let it drop. She's already come around to your perspective. And, you can just chill with her a little bit and then build some more sexual tension and make a move. Now, again, I want to preface this. This should not be used for evil. You should not use this to make girls do things they're uncomfortable with. This is purely to get a girl to understand your perspective and maybe help her get over some limiting beliefs that she might have around sex or around being labeled a slut and stuff like that. And there you have it, guys, a real-life demonstration of how you can utilize frame control. If you guys enjoyed this kind of demonstration, you want to see more content like this, then smash that like button, hit subscribe, and click the bell for notification. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.